Today we're going to talk about slope-intercept form. So I've already talked about this multiple times in class. So the objective today is to write linear equations using slope-intercept and graph linear equations using slope-intercept. Here's some key vocab. It's kind of hard to see, but this says linear parent function. Basically, it is the normal or equation that we base all other equations off of. These are the two ways that we can represent a linear parent function. A linear equation is just a straight line. So basically it has a pattern either increasing or decreasing, but the same number each time. That's the thing that makes it linear. Increasing and decreasing by the same number. And finally we have a y-intercept. This is where the function crosses the y-axis. This right here is key to write down. If you don't know this already, just by looking at this equation, you should make sure to write this down as a reference. Because I will be saying y equals mx plus b, you have to know that m is your slope, b is your y-intercept. First type of problem is if I give you an equation already in the format of y equals mx plus b. Can you tell me the slope, so that's my m, and the y-intercept, and that's my b. So in this equation, the m is only the number. A lot of times people try to put the x with it. It's only the number out in front. So in this first equation, m is equal to 5. And then I want to find my y-intercept or my b. Now if it says subtract, that stays with the number. So in this case, my b is going to be -2. Right now I want you to pause the video and see if you can find the slope and y-intercept correctly from this second graph. So you should have gotten that your slope was -1/2. This means negative. You have to make sure to represent that. And your y-intercept would be 2/3. Here I give you the slope and the y-intercept, and I want you to write it in the correct format. So the slope-intercept. And again, that's y equals mx plus b. So basically I just have to plug in my numbers here. For this first one, it's telling me that my slope is -4/5. So I'm going to have y is equal to -4/5 x, because it's mx, and then my y-intercept is b. So mx plus 7. This would be my equation. Again, you should pause the video to make sure you can write out this equation by yourself. So the second equation should be y equals 3/2 x minus 1. Or you could have a plus -1. Both of those are correct. Either one, I would accept it as the answer. Here I have a multiple choice question. I want to see which one of these equations is going to be this graph right below. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what my m and b are. So I'm going to write that to the side. M and b. It's kind of hard to see that. So when I find my m, I'm looking at my 2 points. Here's a point that crosses at the x, or I'm looking for at a corner. That's where you're looking for a point to cross. And here's a point. And my slope is rise over run, so I'm going to start at my lower point. My rise would be up 1, 2. Since I went up, it would be a +2. Be right 1. So my slope here is going to be +2 over 1. You don't have to write that positive, but I'm choosing to. And then my b here is, when I look at this graph right here, I'm looking for where does it cross my y-axis. So where did those two lines meet? And they met right at this point. And you only use the y here. So if I write out this point, this would be 0, -2. But this right here is the number of my b. The y part is my b. So my b is going to be -2. So I'm looking for an equation that has a +2 slope with a -2 y-intercept. So I can cross out this first one because it's not positive. I can cross out the second one because it's not 2. So I'm debating between these b and d. So they both have a +2. So now I'm going to look at my y-intercept. Here my y-intercept is a +1, so I know it's not going to be that. So it has to be d. That would have to be my final answer. This is going to be the toughest question that you might have on a test or quiz. So right now I want you to pause the video. Yes, pause the video. Write down this whole problem. So again, write down this whole problem and write down these 3 steps of how you should do this. So the first step is to find the slope. So I'm going to label this x1, y1, x2, y2. So when I find my slope, it's y2, so negative 8 minus y1, here it's 1, over x2, so 5 minus 2. So negative 8 minus 1 is going to give me a negative 9, and 5 minus 2 is going to give me 3. Now I can simplify negative 9 over 3 to be negative 3. So now I know my m, so that's equal to my m. The second spot is you want to use one point with the slope to find the b, the y-intercept. So I'm going to use my x1 and y1 point. So instead of writing y for the y equals mx plus b, that's what I'm going to be using here to help me find out what b is. I'm going to write 1 is equal to, my m here is negative 3, and my x coordinate is 2, and then plus b. So I'm still in the format of y equals mx plus b. So now I'm going to solve my equation. So I have 1 is equal to negative 6 plus b, and I have to add 6 to both sides of the equation, so 7 is equal to my b. Now that I have everything that I need, I have both my b and my m. I can write it in slope-intercept form. So in slope-intercept form, my y stays as y, my m is negative 3, x stays as x, and my b is 7. So this right here would be my final answer. Again, if I show you this problem in class, I will tell you, take out your notes and show me the steps you need. So again, make sure you have all of these steps written nice and neat so you can use them. Make sure you fill out the Google form and submit your answers. Have a great day.